I mix what I like, what I like, what I like, what I like, what I like. Won't be going too long. I just saw the film and want to get this off my chest. And I'm admitting I am amped. I am fresh out the theater and furious. So yeah, this joint is a mess. This joint is a mess. And thank you, Bryce, right out the gate. Right out the gate, let's just be clear. Namor. No love. You know what I'm saying? I'm all about that. Yeah, Wakanda must fall, and that's going to be my new hashtag response to all of this. I see some of you have already, and I will, I will. I see some of you. Somebody already got the reference to the whole movement that rose up from the diaspora in response to Rhodes must fall over the maybe even going back a decade or so. No question. Just like in the first movie, in this movie is so much worse. But just like in the first movie, the real heroes and revolutionaries are demonized. And it's not because of the characters themselves. They do enough, particularly in the first movie, not so much in this one. They do enough to sully the character of the revolutionaries so that the politics don't get the credit they deserve. So we miss the politics in favor of the one that attacks the elders and burns the crops and in this movie kills the queen. First of all queens gotta go. All queens gotta go. And with all due respect, and I know for a lot of us of a certain age, we've been watching Angela Bassett rock regally for a long time and appreciate it. But her character, all these queens gotta go. They're a mess. From the real one in England to this one to all the people that represent monarchies and this kind of we need to side up with imperialists to suppress everyone else for our own little kingdom. Nah, man. Nah, man. Nah, more. No love. That was the best part of the movie for me because I remember Namor, the character as a kid in the comics, but I didn't read it closely enough, and I don't remember any of this history being attached to it. But I was just, I wouldn't recognize it then anyway. But the way they flipped it for this, I got no love for this world. By the way, by the way, notice again who goes to war against who. Do Wakandans have any European blood on their hands other than Killmonger? Because Namor was on screen for 5 minutes and got one. And it took his name. Dude said you were a child of no sin amor, a child of no love. He said, word, you're right. I have no love for you or what you've done here. Now more. Oh, I was rocking with that. I was loving that. And how dare they? How dare they? Look, I shouldn't be this upset because this is, of course, what they would do. This is a Disney product. This was the original creation, as Dr. Burroughs has done a great job of unearthing for us and compiling for us. This is the creation of white men responding at a time when the world was rising up and they wanted to offer up a character that made them comfortable. And remember, going to even delving into some of these other topics we've been dealing with lately, if you go back into the history of the Jews that created Hollywood and the Jews that created comics, just like the Marvel Black Panther character, a lot of it was about hiding because they were running from the Nazis and the pogroms and the Europeans, hiding and only revealing yourself in certain moments to save certain people, ultimately to protect your own kingdom and your own world. Because remember, none of those superheroes ended oppression. None of those superheroes ended slavery and apartheid and all that other kind of stuff, even in the comics, is what I'm saying. And we see the same thing happening here. So yeah, there would be room if we had time and if we had an appropriate moment for the nuance of raising some of those same questions for Namor and his people. It's that same kind of thing, like empires rise up out of all these groups and exploit and oppress them or only work for a very small amount of the overall collective. Okay, but in this moment where you have white folks with the long history of enslavement and colonization and wiping out indigenous people, and then using those groups to play off of each other to accumulate all the wealth, the idea that you would have Wakanda go to war against these indigenous people, and where Sirius is standing over this man, and at least I was, boy, I tell you, boy, I knew they weren't going to kill him, but they did enough. Like, how are you going to stand over and threaten this man who's been alive for thousands of years in defense of his people, who had escaped fleeing the same people that had enslaved all of the rest of your continent while you hid and let it happen. And now you want to come out and go to war with him and his people? And why? Because you snitched. You snitched and went to the master. That's why I keep telling you, don't play these melanin games. It's not always the darker the berry, the radical, more radical the politics. He told you, I didn't capture your child. She was a guest. She wanted to come see me and my people. So I made her the first person to ever see us. And then I came to you when you tricked me to come out the water. And I told you, if even one of you comes in my community, if you even snitch, if you do anything, I'm going to come for you. So when he did, you can't look at him like some evil conqueror. You damn right he killed the queen, and you damn right he stood there and said, mourn your loss, bury your dead, and then get on the right team or I'm coming back. Whoa, whoa. You damn right. You damn right, because you just threatened all of us by snitching for the white man that you end up saving at the end of the movie again. No, not more. No love, baby. I got no love. Oh my God. And then I'm sitting there, and what I told my daughters on the way out is I said, look, to truly appreciate how upset I am, you would have to become even a better student of this history than I am. Because if you look at the radical histories of Black and brown unity, of indigenous and African struggle, I'm not trying to paint some rosy picture. I know we're not always not everybody's always on the same team. But the point is, again, which stories are being told and when and why and by whom and for whose benefit? And all of those histories, I said, this is the most anti-Bandung propaganda I've ever seen. When white folks were shook at what Namord was saying, get with me. We don't need to be enemies. What are we doing? They did this to us. Let's unite. And then they bring Killmonger back to kill him again. And he would, to use him as the savage, unthinking, immature revolutionary. All of that is a stand-in for all of those politics, all of that messaging, so that they could kill him again in the idea of anti-colonial, pan-African, non-aligned movement struggle. This movie is, I don't even care how good, or I don't even know if it's good or not. I don't even care. I was so blown by how I thought this was going to happen, but when I saw the way they would, I just wasn't ready. I was like, man, nah more. Wakanda must fall. And again, they do it again. They show you scenes of Wakanda, but nothing of the real political economy. And what they're doing is they just give you all these scenes of beautiful Black people in beautiful clothing, eating beautiful food, in beautiful scenery, with no further discussion of the context. How does that happen? What deals have to be made? Who are you teaming up with to make that happen? Who's doing the work that produces whatever is being considered wealth here? None of that has to be addressed. So when the water comes crashing in, it can just be traumatic and be used to turn this guy who should be a hero into a villain. And then how does the movie end? The same damn thing. He's drawing a picture of indigenous people going to war with Africans and saying to his indigenous and Latino people, wait till the Africans realize they need us, and then they're going to come looking for us when the white folks come after them. Just wait. They're stupid and silly and backwards. They're going to need us. Don't worry. It's not on some radical unity. It's on when they need us again, we're going to get rid of them. What is the messaging? What is, and the white folks are comedic relief. Julia Louis-Dreyfus is cast clearly. It's like she took her character from Veep, put a blue streak of hair in it, and rocked on. So they're just running around joking with each other in their fancy thises and that's. Looking, oh, you're looking so good. Did you get the new trainer? You've been doing the training. And meanwhile, the black and the brown people are at war with each other. So yeah, Wakanda must fall. All of these neo-colonial black versions of Europeans need to go. And I don't care how many pretty clothes and how many African languages people make references to and how many African cultural traditions people make references to. In this context, it's garbage, complete garbage. Oh my goodness, this joint was, I think that was it though. I think that was all I had. What else did I have? European. Yeah, it's a European fantasy because the black and brown people fight each other and nobody focuses on the white folks. In fact, they go save them again. And look how slick they do it. They start the movie with Angela Bassett telling the white folks, we don't trust you. But look how they do it. They peacefully disarm the white folks and bring them back to show, look, we're just messing with you and stop. We don't trust you. That's why we're not, but we're not going to war with you. We're not battling you. We're not organizing with the other oppressed communities. Shout out to we got multiple dogs now. The family's here. So forgive me. But we're not going to organize with the non-aligned movement and the third. We're not going to do any of that. We're just not going to give you everything yet. We're going to slightly slap you on the wrist, and then we're going to go to war with the indigenous people. Little things like that, and then they end with the reference to Toussaint. Come on, son. Come on, man. Unless you're going to look at it as in the context of the real life Toussaint, who did make some had some contradictions in his relationship with the French and Europe. Is that the point you're trying to make? I don't think that's the point you're trying to make. You're throwing out another allusion to something that black people would be like, that's revolution, and be like, see, Wakanda forever. Man, nah more. I'm going to run with that. I'm getting t-shirts, hats, all that stuff. Hashtag Killmonger, hashtag nah more. No love. I got no love for this. Stop it. Anyway, what else? Anti-Bang Dung. All queens gotta go. Man, I was like, man, you want us to cry over this? Stop playing. She snitched and was ready to kill all of those people. And where's the military tactical criticism for a queen that risks the entire community to save her daughter? Sending people on secret missions when he told you don't do it. And you tricked me and you snuck down there. You stole somebody that wasn't even under arrest. What does that remind me of? Remember when the U.S. claimed that they saved Jessica Lynch as an excuse to invade Iraq? And she was like, I wasn't even captured. I had been hurt and the Iraqis were helping me. And the military busts into my little hospital room and they grab me up like I'm being assaulted or like they're saving somebody. That's not what happened. That's what this was. That's what that was. Man, get out of here, man. And this is not, look, again, I'm not confused about the true reality and the relationships of indigenous and black and brown and all that. I'm just saying this film is clearly taking advantage of whatever exists in the ether that would it's perfect for this time. It's perfect, as anybody would be lifting their heads above the horrors of their condition and say, what the hell is going on? Of course, a movie like this is going to tell them, you don't need to link up with the other people getting done the way we're doing you. Find the good one of us and team up with them, as if this one CIA agent is not indicative of an entire process that created all this in the first place. He's the good guy. The indigenous folks, nah. We got to wipe them. We got to go full-blown war. When did Wakanda didn't even get like that with the Avengers against Thanos. They barely got like that. They launched an offensive military assault on this indigenous population. Man, this was horrible. And then I was so angry that I couldn't look at how they even did Chadwick Boseman in literally digitally encapsulating him in the Marvel Disney logo, giving you all this beautiful imagery, and then it keeps panning out, and then you realize, oh, he's a captured image in a Marvel Studio logo. I was like, God damn it. Everything is captured. People in the theater were crying when Angela Bassett's character was dying, as if it was really Angela Bassett. And I was in there. I was very, if honestly, again, it's my children. I don't want to put a situation for them. If they weren't there, I would have absolutely said something in the theater like, good. Somewhere in the brothers that wrote this is their inner me trying to get out. Because when they wrote that line, somebody that feels something wrote that line. Bury your dead, mourn your wounded, and then get on the right team, or I'm coming back in a week. I was like, you damn right. You damn right. That wasn't some savage killing. He warned her. And she snitched. And they try to make it seem like, man, stop it. Anyway, all right, well, look, let me see. Whew. Man. I feel like, you know what? It's like a political version of a drug or an alcoholic. Like, I need a meeting. Like, that's what this is, right, for me, since I'm not actively involved enough. But I need a meeting. I need a political meeting to go to after that. That's where we should all be. Because this movie is complete garbage. And I'm not giving no room for nothing on nobody. I don't care. Like, that's it. I was even softer on the first one, given the impact culturally. No, call me. I don't care what people got to say about me personally. This movie got to be condemned. Got to be. No holds barred. Like, for real. Like, this. Anyway, I'm doing too much. I'm way too amped. Like, I'm glad, like, I'm glad the family's over there. I need somebody to keep me tethered. This is ridiculous. No, there was no She-Hulk. The only reference to the Hulk at all was one line when the brother says, again, they try to depict the big dude as the gorilla, but he had one of the more sensible thoughts. Why would we want to go to war with these people and get into a permanent war? That's not good for us. The dude, and that's where the reference came. He said he flies around and he's possibly as strong as the Hulk. Now, again, we could get into a whole bunch of other stuff about all the stuff that I do like to watch in other people's videos where they really get into, like, the comics and the superheroism, because I do because there are questions about all of that. Like, could she really have won that fight with him? Like, what are the nature of each other's powers here? Like, they could do, stuff like that could have been done better. And I saw a couple things that were critical of the CGI and there's little things like that, but I don't care about none of that. This movie politically is monstrously horrible. It is hard. And then to see Lupita running around repping De Beers while pretending and even getting people like me a little bit with her condemnation of the woman king in favor of the real history of the women and the people of Dahomey and Benin and whatever. And but then she's in this. Like this is you can't you can't condemn Woman King on its damage to history and not look at this film as worse. And the fact that they're not talking about real history directly does not matter. This movie is speaking to the now. This movie is speaking to it is speaking to history, but it is speaking to now, and it is telling people there will be no safety in unity. There is no safety for you in numbers. Everybody cut your deal with the white man, and that's how it's got to be. And then get ready to fight each other. We don't even get to see the dude, the white dude that we know now more kills. We don't even get to see that on screen. Again, god damn it, they keep doing it. It's white people don't die on screen in these contexts. They were easy with the bloodshed because they want kids to see this film, but you got black and brown people throwing each other around, killing each other, stabbing each other up, impaling each other, all types of stuff. And because you know, a couple times the white boy gets called a colonizer and little joke here and there about that. Come on, that's not right. Thanos attacked Wakanda, and I'm telling you, they came out harder against these indigenous people than they did him. Oh man, Dr. Burrows, I was inviting you to come on here. Then you're gonna be in the chat. I told you to join me for this. Anyway, um, that's really all I got. I am furious. I'm not. I can't even front. I'm furious. I walked out of there furious, and I just want to make sure, I mean, honestly, I know you. This is a good joke, I think you're making it, but like they literally have white folk. They have military colleges. They study military, and they put in all this work, and we running around here. They did. They brought Killmonger back just to kill him again. Yeah, I know she's been floating around. I'm just saying, but the way she plays the character, and I'm a big fan of Veep. In fact, I think it might be my favorite show of all time. I think Veep as a series is unmatched. It's at least nothing's better than it. It's at least as good as any. So I love her work in that, and I think she's great. But while black and brown people and indigenous people getting slaughtered all over the place, her little comic stuff I wasn't feeling it. I was like, I was too angry to enjoy it. Man, I can't actually I can, but I can't wait to see how people bend themselves backwards to defend this madness. Absolute madness. These Disney boy, I tell you, boy, these dudes, boy. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They brought him back. They said his name is big, but they named him like Todd was saying. They throw the reference to Toussaint Louverture in there so that people go ooh. But I really think it is like I think it's like we should understand it in the context of the real Toussaint, who did have to, if I remember all the details. Somebody could check me on this, but like he did end up making some, you know, yeah. I mean, and honestly, sometimes I can step aside and say, well, I at least enjoyed it as a film, or I thought the acting or the whatever. I couldn't even get into. I was like, nah. I was in full, especially like as long as hell. So I had plenty of time, but it didn't take long. But after the first few minutes, I was just like, this is. I'm just in war mode. I'm just in battle, just standing in full aggressive hostility to this film. Aggressive hostility to this. Like honestly, for real, like this would be one of the things where I would think if I was, more involved in some active work, if I had a little crew, if I had more of this, that, if I was a better person, maybe whatever. I would actually be out there being like protesting. Like this would be one of the few instances where I feel like it would be worth just standing on the line just to just to point out like not everybody's cool with this. Like I'm not cool with this. I'm not cool how it represents black people and African people. I'm not cool how it represents indigenous and Latino people. I'm not cool how it pits everybody against each other. And especially right now when we're not all good. We're not all good with each other. This is not helpful. And in fact, this is it's going to help the reverse hashtaggers. It's going to help the white folks. It's going to help all conservatives of all backgrounds. It's going to do nothing. If you're, I mean, if you are an unpoliticized, dare I say, a conservative Latino, when you see this, you would smack me with a copy of the Bang Dung conference before you listen to me talk to you about it. Like that's the problem. Like this is and you got some nerve to never depict these people in their histories, and then you let Mel Gibson do Apocalypto, and then you do some shit like this in Moana. Like you, God, please. Oh man, this is worse than I thought it was going to be. I honestly didn't think I would. I would not have predicted being this upset. I would not have, I would not have predicted being this upset. They got me. I can't front. They got me. I said the same thing about the Woman King. There was significant pointed effort made to not have scenes showing Dahomeys being in direct battle with Europeans throughout the movie until the very end. The intent is to continue the centuries-old notion that Black people are the enemy of each other. You're right. And when I read about a couple things about the real Naniska, I think history is unclear, but some of the best, I guess, hypotheses say that she died on the battlefield against the French. And that one account said that she died with her sword in her hand. Like she went down to the very end, having and I think had the body of a Frenchman or the head of a Frenchman. Like she had been it was like the kind of the good death you hear warriors talk about. We're not going to get that. I guess we got to wait another 500 years or go through another 250 years of struggle to get that movie. But by then, and honestly, so in the this could lead to some severe pessimism, like for real. Like this movie, like this, when I start to think about the impact, it reminds me that line that Anthony Bourdain said about food, when he says something like, when I look at fast food and I start to think about what kind of a society would do this to its own people. This is the way I feel about media. Like what society would put this kind of movie onto its own community, regardless of people's backgrounds? That is a disturbed society. Only a really, really, and I get it. I know we here know this, but I'm just saying, like, this is only a truly disturbed society would put this movie out and do it in this way and encourage us to feel bad for the traitors. And then you will make it be Angela Bassett. Making it, so who do you know how difficult it's going to be for people of my age to reach this conclusion, regardless of politics, just because it's Angela Bassett? You slick, dirty mother. But that's what it is, man. Bury your dead and mourn your loss, and then get on the team, or I'm coming back for you. You damn right. Damn right. I agree. Pan-Africanism seems to be under an even more hostile attack. The apparatus knows if we find an opening in this climate, pun intended, it will be the death knell in the status quo. And to the pro LGBTQ community, don't you dare get fooled by that little olive branch they threw you at the end when the sisters kiss. I thought that was Don't you dare, because all the moments that I was like, they're trying to, this is where they're trying to, these are the moments they're trying to sucker you in. Don't you dare fall for that. That's not the unity. That's not the love. That's not on that basis. That's not acceptable. There's no love stories. Nobody should be good. No, I don't want to see nobody's children showing up and all this other stuff. Like all that stuff. No, this is some shadiness. And what's her name who was involved with that little, it's not really, was it a kiss? It's like a little, what did they pack? It was, but it was like and what's her name? I got to get this actress's name down. She is one of my favorite, and she should have played Nina Simone. She is brilliant. She doesn't get enough. She should have been more of a star in this, even as I hate this movie. I think she's a captivating presence and very talented and very funny when she wants, very emotional. She does the whole range, and I don't know why she's not. Well, I mean, I get it. I get it. I know why, but I mean, it can only be one or two, and Lupita takes up a lot of space, and is that's it for Black women, I guess. But I mean, damn. Anyway, yeah, for real. No Yeah, what's up, Sister Jackie? I hope you're feeling well. Good to see you as always. Yeah, no rainbow in period. Don't you fall for it, because I know I know why they threw that scene in there. It's just a little quick one. Don't you fall for it. They man, damn it, this movie pissed me off. Cardi B. That's it. That was it. That's what brought me back from the edge. Appreciate you. That's it. That's all I needed. I'm on the edge. Wakanda must fall. That's it. It's gotta go. And yeah, that's it. So that's my hashtag out of this. That and soda. Soda, solidarity of dispersed Africans, and Wakanda must fall. Peace, everybody, like Fred Hampton used to say, only if you're willing to fight for it. And by that, it don't mean each other. I feel like now we got to add that. Fred and his real Rainbow Coalition was specific. That wasn't the point, that we be fighting each other. I mix what I like, what I like, what I like, what I like, what I like.